In this video we will take you to the popular tourist village of Flom and its surroundings. Here you can go on one of the most beautiful train rides in the world. You can learn about how the Vikings lived 1,000 years ago. You can have some amazing food, or you can just enjoy the nature. Flom is located in the western part of Norway, about 170 kilometers from Bergen at the end of the Fjord. The Flom village center is a typical tourist village, where you can find everything you need within a small area. A couple of cafes, a bakery, plenty of souvenir shops, and of course a few nice restaurants, where you can relax and watch some of the tourist activities that start out from the center. The village actually also have a very nice beach area, if you want to venture into the rather refreshing Norwegian fjord water. And if you're a bit more creative, there are other ways of going for a swim. In the village center, you can buy tickets to everything that happens in the area. And our first adventure was the very environmental friendly electric Fjord Cruise, which is a must-do activity in Flom. The cruise takes you from Flom out the Fjord and in the narrow Njardarheimr to the village of Gudvangen. And the boat has 2 departures every day from Flom.
Life jacket for child. Life jacket for baby.
Where are you? Cruise from Flom to Gudvangen. Look at this amazing view.
The inside of the boat has plenty of seating, as well as a small coffee shop. And a lot of large windows, so you can enjoy the view even if it's a bit windy on deck. The boat makes 4 stops along the route to pick up passengers from smaller settlements. And after a very enjoyable 2 hours cruise, the boat docks in Gudvangen. If you bought a ticket including a bus return, then the bus will be waiting for you to take you back to Flom. Or, rather than go back right away, you can walk across the river, where they have built a full-size Viking town for you to explore. In the village of Njardarheimr, you can walk around freely among more than 20 buildings that were built and reconstructed by using the knowledge and experience of how they were built in the Viking Age. The buildings have been built by using material found around the Njardarheimr, and all decorations are based on styles from the Viking era, but with the valley's own design. However, the best way to learn about the Viking era is to participate in one of the guided tours that starts every 30 minutes. The very knowledgeable guides will give you a lot of interesting information about how the Vikings lived. Some that might make you question those Viking series on Netflix.
Unlike the axes you see today in movies where they have huge heads on them, that would have gotten you killed very quickly in battle because they are too hard to control.
In the valley, it's also possible to try out some of the weapons that were used in the Viking era, after a short introduction by one of the guides.
Okay.
And if you wonder why there were mostly male warriors in the Viking Age, well... In a separate tent in the valley, they have their own wood carver. Here you can buy some very interesting figures, as well as some textiles and jewelry. And by the entrance, they have a more regular souvenir shop, where you can stock up on books about Norse mythology, or buy some more normal souvenirs. So when you're ready to go back to Flom again, you might want to make a short stop at Undredal. This beautiful small village was one of the stops on the Fjord Cruise. It has the smallest stave church in Norway, which unfortunately was closed when we were there, as well as a very nice area down by the fjord, where you can relax, have a snack and enjoy the view. You can also learn a little bit about the history of the area, as well as pick up some of its speciality, goat cheese. When we got back to Flom, we were ready to try out some Viking food. The very popular Ægir BrewPub is located in a wooden building inspired by Norse mythology and Norwegian stave churches. If you want a table here, you should book well in advance. The first floor of this popular pub is a bar and lounge area, where you can enjoy one of the many beers that are made in the same building. The restaurant is on the second floor.
Hey guys, we're at Ægir BrewPub, but I'm not allowed to taste any beer.
And you should definitely go for the beer tasting menu, as they have a lot of different types to try out. And the beers are especially good when they are paired with Ægir's signature dish, the Viking plank. Which is not this one, but this one.
Every beer is with every course, right? So you have the salmon tartare, then you have a fish soup with paprika, salmon, shrimps, cod, and it goes with pills because it's a fresh and easy drink, lightest one.
The waiter does a great job of explaining which beer goes with which course and why.
Need some best.
And on one of the courses we found something familiar.
Lindis Farm. This is Scotch. You have lamb with goat cheese from Undredal, with amber ale.
From Undredal?
And it's,
So the Viking plank can definitely be recommended. But of course beer tasting is not for everybody. There are many other interesting activities you can do from the Flom village center. One of them is the Fjord Safari. The Fjord Safari is a 1.5 hour action-filled trip on the fjord with a rib boat. But as we had done the rib safari in Gudvangen just a few days earlier, we skipped it in Flom. But do have a look at our separate video from Gudvangen for a comprehensive review of our very enjoyable rib fjord cruise there. So if you continue on the walk path along the waterfront and you're into saunas, you will soon find a special one that you can rent. This cozy floating sauna can be rented privately or shared with others. Unfortunately, due to a lot of half-naked people, we couldn't film inside the sauna. So then, we were ready for the most famous attraction in Flom, the Flom Railway. But then, we realized they had a railway museum next to the train station, and we wanted to check out that first. In the museum, you get to know the stories behind building the Flom Railway, which started in 1924 and took over 15 years to finish. It gives you insight into the hard-working people who built it, as well as many technical and legal challenges of building it. They even have one of the old locomotives on display here, as well as many other strange vehicles they used on the railway. If you happen to be a train buff, this is definitely the place for you. And then we were ready for the Flom Railway. This beautiful train ride will take you the 20 kilometers from Flom at sea level to Myrdal at 867 meters above sea level in about an hour. Along the route, the train makes a short stop at Kjosfossen waterfall, where you can check out the amazing scenery and enjoy a short performance by the mysterious Huldra. As the train continues, it makes another stop at Vatnahalsen station. This is the exit station for those who want to take the popular Flom zipline. And when you have reached the end station at Myrdal, the train only makes a short stop before returning to Flom. Myrdal is also the station where you can catch the train to Bergen or Oslo.
Ja, til Flom igjen. Takk det.
But for us, it was back to Flom again. And the Flom Railway was our last activity on our short visit to the Flom area. But before we leave you, we want to show you briefly where we stayed during our visit. Fretheim Hotel is a very nice hotel that dates back to 1879. It has 122 rooms, very nice atmosphere, and you can't beat the location with only a couple of minutes walk to everything that happens in the village center. We really enjoyed our stay at this hotel. Well, that's all from Flom. Do check out our separate videos from Geiranger and Loen, which was also part of this summer's adventure.